Police investigate the death of an education officer whose body was reportedly found hanging on Monday morning. Public Works employees head back to work this week following temporary layoff, and their union is concerned about the conditions that await them, and the project to computerize all records at the registry picks up steam. I am Edona Baptiste of the Channel 5 News. Details after this.
Here's a cool way to make some quick cash with the Dominica National Lottery. Simply go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Dominica National Lottery, and like our page. Fill out a simple form and that's it. Every week, one lucky fan will win $250. Yep, 250 big ones just for liking our page. How cool is that? So what are you waiting for? Hurry to facebook.com/Dominica National Lottery and start winning. Draw takes place every Friday.
It was great last year, and we're doing it even bigger this year. Clothing designers, this is a call for you. It's your chance to win $2,500 in cash in the Quartz Fashionista Fashion Competition. All you have to do is design a piece of clothing inspired by one of our fashionable pieces of furniture for your chance to win. Participants will then be selected based on design submission and proceed to take part in the biggest fashion competition to showcase their creation. Furniture selection must be made from our newest furniture brochure, so pick one up at a Quartz store quickly. Quartz Fashionista Fashion Competition. Bigger and better than before, so sign up if you dare. Deadline to submit registration forms and designs is August 14. Quartz, bringing value home.
Juicy, drink today. Juicy, same great taste. Juicy, original drink. It's an island thing.
Get your red and banana,
Pineapple, juicy cola,
orange or apple,
juicy for you
and for your neighbor.
It's an island thing. Enjoy it juicy, the original island thing.
Juicy!
The right room temperature is essential for a good night's sleep, and your broken AC unit is making matters worse. You toss and turn all night, and fanning is not the answer. It's time to end your nightmare. Come to Tong Refrigeration Center at Foncollet, where we meet all your air condition needs. Tong Refrigeration Center also provides a range of parts, including circuit boards, compressors, capacitors, coil, gas, and more. Visit Tong Refrigeration Center at Foncollet today. Now you can sleep in comfort.
It's a summertime affair.
Summer 2015 is blazing hot, and Marpin 2k4 just made it hotter with special deals on our internet service. Sign in for PingNet between July 27th and September 4th to serve with us and get half off installation and half off your modem. Pay your outstanding balance and get reconnected for free, and get half off your first monthly bill. Get even more when you sign up this summer during our PingNet promotion, as Marpin 2k4 will give some lucky customers an extra reason to smile with our giveaways. Come visit us at our Roseau location to get on board our fast and reliable service. It's time to serve.
It's a summertime affair in the atmosphere.
Welcome back. First up, police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the suspicious death of a Petit Soufriere man. Frank Newton's body was found hanging in a Loader home on Monday. Newton was an education officer responsible for science attached to the curriculum unit of the Ministry of Education. He's a former teacher of the St. Mary's Academy. Newton was a father, brother, and fiancé. He was in his late 50s. This is a shot of Newton speaking at a UWP meeting during the last general election campaign. We'll bring you more details as they become available. More top stories. Laid-off staff of Public Works Corporation are expected to return to work on August 12th. However, their trade union is still considering legal action against their employer.
20 technical PwC employees were laid off in July for 6 weeks, as according to management, the corporation continues to experience financial challenges. General Secretary of the Public Service Union, Thomas Leighton, says when the men return to work, their issues will still not be resolved.
Well, we're expecting the employees to be back at work on the 12th, and we are still having some discussion with the lawyers. There were certain things that could not be done because I had to travel urgently to that meeting. But since my return, I have gotten back in contact with the lawyer, and there are certain things that we are looking at, and she will be getting a legal opinion on that matter very, very soon, and that we will be advised as to whether we can take some court action against some of the things. As you know, that people were sent on, they were laid off, but money is still being owed on their behalf.
Some $700,000 in Social Security contributions for PwC staff remains unpaid.
Although we understand the last time that they were current with payment, well, that's what we were told by the corporation, but you still have a lot of areas, and so we have to look at that. There are certain things that we are looking at. We have to look at the provisions of the collective agreement, what that has not been implemented, whether we should refer the matter to a tribunal or whether we can go straight to court with some of those issues, because certain cases will have to be reviewed and then we will have to be advised as to that. But we have not given up on our members at all. We have a responsibility, but one will have to appreciate that at this point it is very important that we engage our legal advisors or lawyers in the matter.
Head of the Civil Registry Department, Ozzy Walsh, has a vision to have all records computerized as a digitalization project continues at that government department.
Phase 1 of the digitalization covered birth, death, marriage, and adoption records. The titles registry is now being updated, and to date, data for over 8,000 titles have been logged into their computer system.
As far as the digitalization of the titles registry is concerned, that is going in earnest. It's about a year now. From July last year to July this year, we have scanned into the system some 8,100 titles. What that means is, if those persons, 8,100 persons, registered proprietors, would like a copy of the title and they request it, it can be done the usual oral way or through a search form. Enter the person's data request into the system. The person's title will pop up on the screen and we can print the title. Currently, it can be done for those 8,100 persons.
Meantime, amendments are still being made to life event records.
Up till a year ago, when we moved digitalization to the titles registry, where we are now focused on, you can see for that year amendments to information in the civil registry database. That remains outstanding and needs to be scanned into the system. But that's not a problem. We know how to deal with this one. Essentially, the information with respect to, the prime information with respect to people's names in the birth book, the death book, the marriage book, the adoption book, those names have been scanned into the system. So, and as information comes from the hospital, new births being emerging, we put those names into the system.
Walsh says the idea is to have all records computerized.
As long as I'm here, I want to see the entire operation digitalized. I want to see the same thing take place with respect to the probate section, with respect to deeds. It will make for searching of documents much faster. Let me give you a practical example. Someone wants an information with respect to a person's will, and that person was deceased in 1984. They want to make reference to that file, that probate file. Where's the probate file? Maybe somewhere in the archives. I have to go and physically look for that file. It's not on the system as yet. I want that soon to be a thing of the past. To be good to have maybe a second team here doing digitalization, and we will have to get a second set of cameras, second set of scanners and everything like this, and we don't even have the size there.
On the education scene, Prime Minister Skerrit has praised his government's policies on education, saying an educated population is key to a modern society.
Mr. Skerrit points to his government's record of achieving universal secondary education 2 years ahead of schedule. He says the Labour government has transformed access to education because when Labour came into office in 2000, only 44% of all primary school graduates had access to secondary school.
And both the party and the government mandated me then as Minister of Education to bring a program to the cabinet to advise it on how are we going to achieve universal access to education in Dominic. And the plan which we presented to the cabinet indicated that we would have achieved universal access to secondary education by 2007. And because of the front loading of resources by the government, because the government was the Labour Party was eager to get to universal access to education, to correct a historical wrong. Because if you look at the communities now in Dominica, the number of your friends and relatives and community people who did not get to secondary school, not because they were not bright people, but because the system said at the time we were accepting X number of students. So we set our target for 2007, and the government, the Labour Party, was able to achieve that objective of universal access to secondary education in 2005, 2 years in advance of the stated goal.
Mr. Skerritt says upon taking up office, 7% of high school graduates had access to the state college.
Today, as we speak, we have set the platform by the investments we have made in teacher training and the investments we have made in the physical infrastructure of the state college to accept 100% of students into the state college. As we speak tonight, it is at 87%. But obviously, with a tertiary institution, there are minimum entry requirements, and therefore students must meet it before they can get there. But the fact is we have the infrastructure in place to accept 100% of students who graduate from high school.
We move to agriculture now, where lab technicians are down to receive training in Brazil as Dominica continues to enhance its management of agricultural pests.
Through research in 2011, the Division of Agriculture has detected a growing population of scale insects, whiteflies and red palm mite, which are affecting crops. The Division of Agriculture wants farmers to reduce the use of pesticides as much as possible, and their strategy is to release other insects or natural enemies on farms which can fight off these crop pests. Natural enemies can help keep plant-feeding insects from reaching damaging population levels by eating them.
Our research work has revealed that we have a possibility of 5 potential natural enemies to manage red palm mite. The natural enemies are other biological agents such as insects, beneficial ones that can fight against the harmful one. So we're talking about insects, parasitoids, beetles, ladybird beetles, and also fungi and bacteria that can be beneficial working against the harmful one.
Dominica is already working with 2 agricultural research agencies in Brazil to help it in its fight against these farm bugs.
2 technicians from Dominica will visit Brazil sometime in September to be trained, further training in field identification, laboratory, mass rearing, and multiplication. The benefit of that is that Dominica is known to have abundance of natural enemies. What we have to do is to build capacity to identify them, mass rear them, and release them for them to benefit us. We have to be mindful that our program is an integrated pest management program where we want to protect the life, the plant life, animal life, and human health, and we have a fundamental role to protect the environment. So our strategy really is to see how best we can reduce the amount of pesticide use in the environment, and so we want to augment and work with the biological agents to see how best we manage our pest problem in Dominica.
You are watching Channel 5 News. Coming up, same-sex marriage, a topic of discussion in Catholic Bishop's new book. Stay with us.
A world leader in manufacturing for the cutting professional, Makita's very own diamond blades provide maximum efficiency for coring, cutting, and polishing all types of masonry.
Another good product put out again by Makita.
Longer life, durability, optimum performance. Makita diamond blades provide a powerful edge that lasts.
Nothing nicer than having a good blade.
Go beyond the ordinary. Go with Makita.
Let's be conscious and beware. The climate is changing everywhere. Let's promote more healthy lands to withstand the change at hand. Go on and plant a tree. Let's restore the forest. Be a lot more conservative with our farming practices. Keep our environment more clean and green. Put an end to all the polluting. Just be proactive. Rally, rethink, rally, respond. End the coastal pollution. Promote more water conservation. Whoa. Rally, rethink, rally, respond. Plants around the river banks to sustain the water on the land. Yeah, yeah.
Climate change is real. Our actions do matter. Rally, rethink, respond. A message from the OECS and USAID.
Your style, your taste, your look. As individual as you are. Find the furniture piece that's right for you, only at Quartz. Choose from our wide selection of fresh new designs, luxurious comfort, and contemporary elegance. Best of all, it's more affordable than you think. So create the room that's all about you. Come into Quartz today, where furniture is fashionable. Quartz, bringing value home.
Here's a cool way to make some quick cash with the Dominica National Lottery. Simply go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Dominica National Lottery, and like our page. Fill out a simple form and that's it. Every week, one lucky fan will win $250. Yep, 250 big ones just for liking our page. How cool is that? So what are you waiting for? Hurry to facebook.com/Dominica National Lottery and start winning. Draw takes place every Friday.
Thanks for staying with us. Police say they have satisfied their investigations that the mission of 4 young men who were lost at sea is not suspicious. Initially, police had reported that 3 young men from the northeast had left Marigot 2 Saturdays ago for an expedition in Guadeloupe. They lost their way after the engine of the fiberglass boat they were traveling on malfunctioned. However, when they were found off the coast of Venezuela on Thursday, police found out the boat had 4 occupants.
In fact, that journey began with 2 young men, Yannick Bruno and Jerome Telemac of Marigot and Woodford Hill, respectively. They were on their way to Guadeloupe and had developed engine problems. It was somewhere about 4 p.m. when they left, and they proceeded to Portsmouth to having the engine repaired. While they were repairing it, of course, darkness came and they aborted the trip. They had the engine repaired and decided that they were going back to Marigot, when in fact they met 2 youngsters, Bernard Ofer and Nixon Edwards, from Marigot, and decided that they would go on the boat with them to Marigot instead of perhaps taking the bus.
On their way back to Marigot, their troubles mounted as sea conditions became unfavorable and the engine started to act up again, and they drifted away from Dominica's coast.
They could have seen Baste way outside of Baste, but they continued to drift and the problems exacerbated. We interviewed them. That is the normal procedure. They have been gone at sea to find out exactly what took place. Given what was said by the captain, apparently the engine had been given problems over a period of time, and they were on a mission to go over to getting stuff, equipment, fishing equipment, as well as parts for the motor or for the engine, among other things. So as to whether it was really truly a fishing expedition, because according to him, they were just moving quickly to Guadeloupe to return.
The young men struggled with very little water and no food until they were rescued by a lumber ship on its way to Dominica off the coast of Venezuela. The boat's captain, Yannick Bruno, had made contact with his girlfriend while on sea to inform her of their difficulties. In more news, organizers of the just concluded 8th Annual Nature Island Literary Festival say it has secured its place as a leader in promoting literary arts in the country.
It's also believed to be the largest festival of its kind in the OECS.
The aims of the festival include cultivating and sustaining literary and creative arts by Dominicans and about Dominica and the Caribbean. The festival has been a pioneer in reactivating engagement with writers and writing in social and public spaces. The hope is that by sharing the power of literature to change minds and lives, to change the way we see our homes and the world beyond our small places, we can also help increase literacy and improve social and economic conditions of our people through education and edification. The hope is also that this festival, through the diverse cultural experiences that it offers, becomes highly regarded as a main attraction for visitors to Dominica shores.
Esprit says this year's theme of nature and the environment is relevant because of the impact of climate change, and we need all forms of education and awareness to sensitize us to preserve our region and our planet. Echoing a similar theme, the speaker who delivered the feature address spoke of living in harmony with everything that surrounds us and not just people.
How do you live love with your environment? Do you really stop using bleach to wash your clothes when your runoff is a soak away? Do you really use and dispose of less plastic bags and containers, or ask the vendor if the lettuce is chemical free? What are we eating? Where does the cheapest lentil peas come from? And how is it grown there in these vast, vast quantities? How do we protect our loved one or make the relationship better? You are not alone and never will be, but what goes unseen cannot easily be undone. Throwing a styrofoam cup behind you into the ravine or burying heaps of garbage in the official dump is the same as slipping a little arsenic into a baby's food or stitching in a soiled rubber glove amongst human organs in surgery. The repercussions, the septicemia, poisoning, will and are taking its toll, even if we can't see them on the surface or see them at all. So we find some way, small or big, to try to nurture what sustains us, to be responsible and unselfish.
The August 6 to 9 festival was held under the theme Beyond the Green, Nature, Environment, and Caribbean Literature.
The legalization of same-sex marriage in the United States earlier this year is one of the issues which Bishop Malzer makes reference to in his book Christ and Caribbean Cultures, launched on Friday.
In the book, Bishop Malzer says this ruling, which makes same-sex marriage a national right, has repercussions for the church. He says it challenges the sacrament of marriage, but he says the church's position on homosexual orientation and practice has been made clear.
On the issue of homosexuality, the writer seems challenged by what appears to be a dilemma. There is a reaffirmation that marriage is between one man and one woman, and this is not only a Christian institution, but a pre-Christian one recognized as the ideal whereby children are raised with love that is both masculine and feminine. Christ himself raised this contemporary union to a level of a sacrament. However, when people make choices for lifestyles contrary to the gospel, the church must be full of mercy and slow to judge. Such persons, and I quote, must be accepted with respect, compassion, and sensitivity, says the bishops of our area.
But the book is about much more than this. It represents Bishop Malzer's research work spanning 2 decades. It's a collection of essays on the church's responsibility to be relevant, authentic, and to evangelize.
The main purpose of the book is to help us appreciate ourselves as a people on the way to salvation in the context of the Caribbean. It seeks to show that any theology, that is, faith-seeking understanding, has of necessity to take seriously the context in which it is lived. To accept the fact that Christ, the Christ of faith, is truly incarnated in each of us individually and in all of us collectively, despite any racial configuration, has every potential for self-esteem and for genuine liberation or salvation, which always comes from within. Salvation, in other words, is always an inside job.
Besides its inspiration role, this book will also form part of the fundraising efforts for the renovation of the cathedral.
It is not to be forgotten that this event is also a small means of fundraising, or the much needed funds towards the renovation of the cathedral. I am eager to witness its completion, and I am certain that the same applies to you. Your patronization is evidence of your desire to see the cathedral completed. However, I solicit your generosity in promoting and encouraging the sale of the book. You can do a great deal more, even beyond this event, and to help raise those funds. Besides a copy of the book, which you will receive very soon, I trust you will purchase copies for friends and relatives. You can help promote the sales even on the electronic level. I know that many people prefer to have a hard copy of the text in their hands. I too prefer it. However, for the younger generation, who are more prone to use the electronic media, the book is available on Amazon. Hard copies can be ordered directly from the publisher, but it is also available on Kindle or ebook.
Part 1 speaks to the challenges for the Catholic Christian in the new millennium. Part 2, Christ and ethnicity in the Caribbean. It attempts through the use of the notion of the incarnation to unravel the concept of Christ as Savior in the Caribbean context. Toward a Caribbean Christian civilization, Part 3 gives a comprehensive view of the Caribbean reality in which Christianity is lived. The book also speaks of a more meaningful role for women and their participation in this male-dominated church.
That's News, a business initiative which could spell wonders for local football. That and more in your sports highlights next.
Dominica wrapped up a fairly decent NACAC performance in Costa Rica over the weekend with a gold medal and other personal bests. Triple jumper Jordani Garcia Duranona copped gold in men's triple jump with a championship record of 16.98 meters. Dylan Simon placed fourth in both his events, men's shot put and discus. Thea Lafont came sixth in both women's high jump and triple jump, and Andre Bazil threw a peak 60.87 meters for men's javelin 8th place. High jumper Brendan Williams couldn't make it past the 2.15 meters and had to settle for 5th. The team will return home for a couple of days, then take off for the 15th World Championships in China. Tarish Pitt United and Shawford FC will meet in the final of the 2015 Domlec Roseau Valley Football League. A hat-trick from Dylan Alexander's put Tarish in the final ahead of Goodwill All-Stars in a 3-2 finish on Saturday. Derrickson McDonald and Magnum Allen netted the Goodwill's goals. The next day, Randolph Peltier did some damage to get Shawford into the final. Peltier's magic converted 5 goals to give his side a 5-2 win over Domlec on Sunday. Kimon John Baptiste and Ryan Matthews scored for Domlec. The grand final is on Sunday at Trafalgar. And one businessman's initiative could spell wonders for local football. Manager of Football Galore Jesse Badwill told local media ahead of the facility's completion in Canefield that this facility will combine quality with talent for a better football product. He added that even while there is a cost associated, he is prepared to work with local associations on different initiatives.
Yes, I wouldn't say no, but we also have to look at it. I mean, a lot of money was really put into having this field. This field will really be the best field in Dominica. There's no mud, there's no, what you call that, extra grass or any awkward bunks, any no stones or anything like that. So it's going to be real professionally done. It'll be like what people see on TV, basically. But we will also we'll always be looking at seeing where we can partner with other people. We have actually written letters to the different stakeholders. The DFA, yes, should get a letter, and the Referees Association as well. So we're looking to have different people support the initiative, and also we will be looking to see how we can grow as a business as well.
Football Galore is an initiative of Carl Nassif and will be run on a membership basis, where members will pay an annual $90 subscription with full access to any of the fields at the facility.
The membership fee is really just to help out, but it wouldn't cover the cost. To be honest with you, this grass has a 10-year warranty, so you can imagine, that we had to do something worthwhile to get this. The fields, like I said, will be rented. They're going to be $65 an hour during the day and $85 an hour during the night, because we also have the lights. This is all FIFA recommended, FIFA certified, down to the sizes for what they call it futsal. We'll be having 3 different sizes of goals based on what games are being played. So we have the regular small goal, we have the futsal size, and then if the whole field is being played, then we have the regular goal size. We really looked at trying to make it a clubhouse setting where you can come here as a member, and meet with other members and enjoy.
It's basically just taking football here to another level.
Yes, and that is what we were looking to do when we set out the initiative, was to improve also the brand of football in Dominica.
Aeropost Dutch United will meet Rosalie Bay Charlotte Villas in what promises to be an exciting Fast Cash Harlem Football League final. Charlotte Villas crushed Icons 3-1 in Saturday's first semi-final thanks to Kerry Aline's thunderous opening goal and a double from Randolph Peltier. In Saturday's second game, Joshua Francis Youngstars simply didn't bring enough of a defense up against Dutch United. Donan Gervier added another goal to his tally, and captain Hanif Gregoire netted a scorcher to seal the deal for the Aeropost side. The runner-up game is set for Friday, and the grand final will follow on Saturday.
A tropical wave expected to produce increased shower and thunderstorm activity Monday night into Tuesday. For a full report, we now join the Met Office.
The weather is brought to you by Sagicor, wise financial thinking for life.
Good evening, Dominica, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I'm your presenter, Marshall Alexander. We begin by taking a look at earlier infrared satellite imagery and what it showed. Some low-level clouds which moved across the region today, and this resulted in partly cloudy skies across Dominica. Of more significance on satellite is this area of deep convection, which is associated with a westward moving tropical wave expected to move through the region during tonight and into tomorrow. Taking a look at earlier radar imagery and what it indicated, scattered showers across most of the region during today. Tonight's weather is expected to be mostly cloudy to overcast at times and breezy with showers and isolated thunderstorms. Temperatures on the coast expected to be down to 24 degrees Celsius. Similar conditions can be expected into tomorrow, with temperatures on the coast expected to be up to 29 degrees Celsius. Persons in areas prone to flooding, landslides, and falling rocks, you're advised to exercise some caution. Sea conditions are expected to be moderate in open water, with waves peaking near 7 feet. Conditions for the next 3 days: cloudy conditions with showers and isolated thunderstorms can be expected tomorrow. However, as we move into Wednesday and Thursday, a relative improvement in conditions can be expected. A decrease in wind speeds can be expected as we move into Thursday also. Looking at the bigger picture, cloudy skies with showers and thunderstorms can be expected throughout most of the region during tomorrow due to the passage of this tropical wave. Our international cities forecast: cloudy skies with showers and thunderstorms can be expected in New York, Miami, and Caracas, with partly cloudy skies expected in London and clear skies expected in Beijing. Some pretty warm temperatures can be expected in Beijing. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:50 a.m. and sunset will be at 6:41 p.m. Please remember that we are in hurricane season. For updated weather information, you can call the weather hotline at 5555 or visit the website at weather.gov.dm. Thanks for viewing. Have a good night.
How do I look, Mommy?
Perfect. When you've been here, you know what's important. Protect it with Sagicor. Wise financial thinking for life.
To end the news, the headlines again. Police investigate the death of an education officer whose body was reportedly found hanging on Monday morning. Public works employees head back to work this week following temporary layoff, and their union is concerned about the conditions that await them. And a project to computerize all records at the registry picks up steam. Feel free to send your questions and comments to news@marpin2k4.com. On behalf of the production team, I am Edona and Baptiste. Thanks for watching. Join us again tomorrow.